Hey everybody, welcome back to Bad Game Hall of Fame. I'm Charky, and with me tonight is Johnny Baghead.
Hello there.
Cass is not joining us tonight. They are, as far as I can tell, fighting demons in hell for the rest of eternity with their long-lost evil or good twin. Actually, I don't know. Depends on who you ask. I don't know which one's which.
Tonight. They got the easy job.
I mean, we got the fun job tonight, because we're going to play a Devil May Cry game. We're both huge Devil May Cry fans, right?
Oh, right, yes.
Yeah, we're playing
Oh, yeah.
Devil May Cry 2, the PlayStation 2 game, released January 28th, 2003, North America, and March 28th, 2003 in Japan. Interesting that it came out in America first. It was developed by... hey, Johnny, I'm sorry, could you scoot your head just a little? Let's go down there. Yep. Developed by Capcom Production Studio 1 and published by Capcom. But tonight, specifically, we'll be playing the Devil May Cry HD Collection version of it. That was released on PS3 in March 22nd, 2012, and PS4, the version we're doing, March 13th, 2018.
Yeah. Just a heads up, I think the Japanese and European release dates are swapped.
Okay. Well, folks, grab into a bag, pick a date, and whichever one, just go with that. So, Devil May Cry. As I said, we're both big fans of not only, I think, the genre of the character action game that spawned from it, but Devil May Cry itself and the series generally as a whole. Yesterday was DMC's birthday. The Devil May Cry reimagining, let's say, from Ninja Theory. And like clockwork, every time that game has a birthday and we announce this game that people say is bad and had a bad reputation surrounding it, we say, hey, it's the bad game birthday of DMC. People will come out the woodwork to say, actually, that game rules. Actually, that's a good game. That's one of the best ones in the Devil May Cry series. And that's not for us to argue here tonight. That'll be the day that we actually play that game on the stream, which will come. Yeah. But inevitably, in all of those discussions, people will say, I'd rather play DMC than Devil May Cry 2.
Yeah.
People do not go to bat for this one. Some people do. I know Thor High Heels did.
I have seen the vice versa argument. I have seen people try and claim that DMC2 is better than the reboot, which I don't agree with, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, like, I don't have that much familiarity with this game. I own this game. I bought this back in the day.
This was the first Devil May Cry game I brought.
But, like, every time I tried to play this game, like, I started the series with 1, so I played it, in order. But, every time that I tried to play this game, I would get to the same spot and stop. Every single time. And we will see it when we get there, but this is not a game I've ever finished. What about you? You ever beat this one?
Oh, yeah. So, when I got this game back in the day, this would have been some point in 2003, around the time I got my PlayStation 2. And I'd seen trailers and stuff on my PlayStation 2 demo discs of the first Devil May Cry, and I just bought the second one because I assumed, that would be better. But I had no context for how these games played. I just mostly knew Resident Evil, so I didn't have a spectacular time. But I did get through Dante's campaign, and I was just like, oh yeah, it's kind of like a Resident Evil, but you just shoot everything with infinite ammo. And I would have been like, I'd have been like 11, 12 at the time.
It's kind of like a Resident Evil, but it's kind of like a Resident Evil, but like my character goes where I want them to go and where I tell them to go right away. I don't like this. I don't
know. Well, we'll see about that.
Yeah, we'll see about that actually. But yeah, this will be a revisiting for me. I have not played this in a grip. But before we dive into Devil May Cry 2, I think we need to dive into something more savory, more sweet, more food-like. Sharky Stream Snack. Alright, tonight's Stream Snack is Farm Rich Jalapeno Poppers. Now, I have a story to tell about this one, alright? So, I finally got the air fryer basket for my oven. And I was like, okay, I tested it out last night before tonight's show. Because I was going to heat up like a chimichanga. So I put it in the oven, and I hit the air fry button on the oven. And it says, feature needs Wi-Fi. Go to settings to connect. Why do I need to connect to Wi-Fi to use the air fryer?
Because it's the future.
An air fryer.
Technology.
It's a convection oven. Why do I need to connect to Wi-Fi to use the convection oven? Because there's a convection oven button on the thing, and that works. You can just set it, and it works. So I did, and man, it heats stuff up slowly. So I did the jalapeno poppers tonight. It cooked them. They are fine. They tasted fine, but like they didn't crisp up, and that's like the point of a air fryer thing, isn't it? A convection oven is supposed to help it crisp up. So I don't know. I mean, if the air fryer thing doesn't work out, I guess now I have another pan I could cook on. Sure, but why? What data are they trying to harvest? What do they want from me? I'm just cooking. I'm just heating up jalapeno poppers. So I have to tell the app, like, I'm having jalapeno poppers tonight. And they're like, oh, okay, good. We can sell that off to Meta. Here we go. Thank you. Bizarre. Anyway.
Yeah.
Tonight's snack, which does not require a Wi-Fi connection, to my knowledge, is C4 Performance Energy Starburst Strawberry. Now, strawberry, the best flavor, Starburst, the pink. So, I have high hopes for this one. Granted, it is no sugar, and I'm pretty sure Starburst is very sugar. But let's give this a taste. Well, yeah, that is distinctly Starburst Strawberry. It's maybe a little weaker than actually having a Starburst, but I think if I were to have a drink that was at all times the exact concentrated energy of the sweetness of a Starburst, I would probably get sick. So this is probably one. This is fine. This is all right. Now, this drink, though, does say it has carnosine beta-alanine, which I think is a thing that's supposed to make your muscles tingly. So we'll see if that takes effect during the stream. I think you need to take like a lot more of it to have that effect, but we'll see if I start twitching. I mean, I'm streaming to the appropriate place for it, but
I feel like if I drank that amount of energy drinks to start having tingly muscles, I'd be worried.
It's apparently not the caffeine. It's supposed to be the other chemical in there, which, I don't know. We'll see how that turns out. You having a snack tonight?
No, just a latte. Help me burn the midnight oil.
There you go. All right, well, I think that will do it for the stream snack, Ben. And, yeah, I guess it is time to get into the history of Devil May Cry 2. Yeah, let's get to it. This, I gotta say, by the way, Cass was not here to work on this. Again, like I said, battling in hell. So thank you, Johnny, for doing the lion's share of writing on this one. But I will go ahead and take it away. We start here. We start the story of Devil May Cry 2 with Devil May Cry 1. Pictured here on the upper right is director Hideki Kamiya getting ready to go fight Naked Snake in the jungles of Russia. And below is our other main player here, Shinji Mikami. He was producer for Resident Evil, correct? Producer or director or both?
Mainly producer, yeah. Cass would know, it's not on the top of my head, but the other people were the main directors. Yeah,
I couldn't remember how much directing duty he had in Resident Evil.
Yeah.
But anyway, to start. In 1999, after the success of 1998's Resident Evil 2, producer Shinji Mikami requested director Hideki Kamiya, well, there's our answer, to make a new Resident Evil game. Originally starring a character named Tony, one of two genetically engineered superhuman twins created by Umbrella. However, during development, Kamiya's desire to make a cool action game that fit within the series ended up straying so far from Resident Evil in tone and gameplay that Mikami persuaded the developers to make a brand new game. Taking influence from a lot of Kamiya's favorite arcade games and manga, such as Cobra, the game would eventually take the form of Devil May Cry, released August 21st, 2001 in Japan, and October 17th, 2001 in North America. Devil May Cry was a fast-paced, hack-and-slash game with cool, cocky, Devil May Care attitude. There's the name. That's where it is. Players control... Players take control of the half-demon Dante, using his demonic powers to fight off the hordes of evil using stylish weapon combos and various firearms. The game was notoriously challenging, with systems encouraging players to improve their skills and take out enemies in more efficient and stylish ways that rewarded players the better they played. While not the first, Devil May Cry 1 helped popularize juggling enemies using sword or gun attacks, directly influenced from a bug Kamiya saw during the development of Onimusha. And I believe that bug is kind of what you would imagine would lead to juggling in DMC. It was just hitting enemies up and then continuing to hit them up in the air to keep them in like a stun lock.
Mm-hmm.
Devil May Cry is generally considered the father of character action and stylish action subgenre, which is a term coined on the back of the US box art. Releasing to critical acclaim and going on to sell over 2 million copies on the PlayStation 2 in its lifetime. Yeah, I can think of some other games that you could consider character action, like Rising Sun Samurai Gunman is like the first one that comes to mind.
Johnny No More.
But it was really with Devil May Cry that people really were like, "Oh, this is a thing. We all need to get on this thing like right now." So the game is released. It is received well. And in the summer of 2001, as Devil May Cry was winding down production, Capcom management greenlit a sequel. Not by the original Team Little Devils developers that Hideki Kamiya headed, but instead it was going to be made by Capcom Production Studio 1, who had previously worked on arcade titles such as JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, Capcom vs. SNK 1 and 2, and Marvel vs. Capcom 2. At the time, CPS1 had little to no experience making polygonal 3D games or home console games, but were chosen as Capcom were shifting away from the then dying arcade market, and the still dying arcade market, I guess, the slow, decades-long death march of the arcade market. And they needed their arcade studios to pivot to developing home console releases. Shinji Mikami, wanting to give Hideki Kamiya experience working with a smaller development team, instead assigned him to the game that would eventually be Beautiful Joe. And Johnny, if you don't mind linking, we do have a article here that we're going to quote briefly, an IGN interview with Hideki Kamiya. Actually, I say IGN, but it's 1UP, I guess. IGN's assumed 1UP eventually.
No. That is the source for the information about why Hideki Kamiya was not brought back for Devil May Cry 1.
Okay, so the next link then would be what we're about to quote from. All right.
Here we go.
We got a lot of links tonight. Anyway, in that 1UP interview, they ask, were you hurt by that, or were you working on another project when Capcom came to you and said, hey, we're doing a sequel to DMC? Kamiya responded,
it was a pretty big shock. So what was happening at the time is we were finishing up the localization of Devil May Cry for other territories, like North America and other last-minute details, when a planner from another group came down to talk to me and said, can you show me the scenario design doc for the first game? And I asked why. And he said, because I'm making the second one. I was thinking, I can't make the second game? What's going on here? I was almost afraid of getting fired. Devil May Cry originally started out as Resident Evil 3, but it turned into Devil May Cry because it was so different, and we lost a year of development time. So I thought maybe I was screwing things up, and that Capcom wanted to fire me, which would explain why I couldn't do Devil May Cry 2, because the news came to such a surprise to me.
This kind of reminds me of like the story of Kojima finding out that Metal Gear 2, or specifically like Snake's Revenge, was being made.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah,
he just happened to be on a train with a guy working on it. He was like, oh, hey, I'm working on the sequel to your thing. And he's like, what? You're working on the what?
very, very similar.
I mean, I guess that is a fair, like, thing, I guess, to say is like, well, I'm fired, aren't I? Like, goodbye, everyone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But that would become another day, I believe. Let's see. Next up, Capcom Production Studios 1 were given full creative freedom, and the game was originally going to star an entirely new green-jacketed protagonist set in New York City. This was eventually scrapped to try and make Devil May Cry 2 closer in style and tone to the first game, though by the developer's own accounts, something they failed to do. We have an interview with Daigo Ikeno, the conceptual design for Devil May Cry 2. Is this coming from the...
Yes. So all the developer quotes from here on out are all from the Devil May Cry 3142 art book.
Which is also where our slide on screen currently comes from.
Yeah.
These are some drafts from Devil May Cry 2. Also, remember... you remember how they didn't know where to put 2 in the chronology for like a long time? Everyone was like, it's the last game. Like, something had to have happened to Dante. Something got fucked up. Let's put it last. We'll get to it, but it was only until later that they actually said, like, I guess it took place after 1. Sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, in the art design book, the interviewer asks Ikeno, so the DMC2 team had a lot of former arcade division staff then?
That's right. More specifically, people who had mostly worked on fighting games. They were mixed in with a number of others who had worked on Devil May Cry 1. The producer was Tsuyoshi Tanaka, who had only just joined Capcom. Funamizu-san, which is Noritaka Funamizu, known for the Monster Hunter series, basically gave the Devil May Cry 2 team free reign, encouraged us to do what we wanted. At first, the protagonist wasn't even going to be Dante, but rather some guy with a green jacket. Looking back at the game's fundamentals, like the visuals and the overall design, we didn't take the parts of Devil May Cry 1 that the players really loved into account well enough, so the second game felt very artificial. I think our attitude was a little too much. We're going to make it how we want to. There wasn't enough recognition for the fact that 2 was only happening because of the success of 1. Dante's sudden change into a more taciturn character was the producer's decision because he didn't like the joke wisecracking, wise-ass character from 1. The team agreed, and that was the direction we went in. It was set about 10 years after the events of 1 and starred a tight-lipped Dante who was around 30 years old. His sudden silence also almost seemed to imply that something terrible would happen between the events of 1 and 2. Going along with that theme, we also designed him to look more grown up.
So in the production of 2, I guess everyone sat at the table and looked at each other and was like, so we all agree, we don't like fun? We don't like fun, right? Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Handshakes all around. Yes. No fun characters allowed. Inexperience with full 3D adventure and console games seemed to have come back to bite the developers. The team who were working off of DMC1's design document and attempting to make their first full console game were so poorly managed and were having such a rough time with development that roughly 8 months into DMC2's 15-month development, the only working part of the game was Dante's stinger move. Things were going so bad that Capcom elected to take the original director off the project, whose identity is seemingly still a secret to this day. At least we couldn't find it. And brought on experienced director Hideki Itsuno, who has worked on Rival Schools, Power Stone, and Capcom vs. SNK 2, to try and salvage the project into a shippable state in the last 5 to 6 months of development. Going back to the art book, in an interview with Hideki Itsuno, the interviewer asks... I should also mention that in this interview, they also talked to Motohide Eshiro, who is the producer of the Devil May Cry HD collection. The interviewer asks, you mentioned being brought on in a supplementary role for DMC2, but what did that really mean?
That's how it was phrased, but I was really the director. There was a lot of drama over my replacing the old director. and I have nothing but bad memories about that part in particular. But basically, they said that nothing was getting done and that needed to change. The scenario hadn't been written, the cutscenes had yet to be shot, and they hadn't decided what to do about Dante's devil trigger. They had determined that the Stinner attack was essential, so at least they had someone who was going to take care of that. But none of the other attacks had been worked on at all.
Ashiro's contribution to this was to say, good job on getting all that done in half a year then.
Yeah, great job getting that done in half a year.
In another interview with Bingo Morihashi, the scenario writer for the game, the interviewer asks, Bingo-san, how did you come to be involved with the Devil May Cry series?
I was doing my training after being hired at Capcom, wondering what team they put me on, and that first team just happened to be the Devil May Cry 2 one. Development had actually been going on for a while though. The story, characters, and design were all pretty much in place. Only the gameplay was left, and they used all sorts of people to finish it up. I was one of those people, so I got assigned various odd jobs. I reviewed finished assets, oversaw the translation, and those sorts of things.
So designing characters took precedence, even with the gameplay unfinished?
That's right. The stages were mostly there, but not the missions. That was my starting point. It was like let me start again. It was like we had all the trappings done, but not the filling, which made things very hard. It was around that time that Itsuno-san became the director and started planning a complete overhaul. Itsuno-san actually wanted to make it an original non-Devil May Cry game, but his involvement with Devil May Cry 2 led to 3 and 4, so he never got to do what he wanted.
The story of Devil May Cry 2 was already largely in place, but did you get to tinker with it at all?
All I got to do was subtitles. They were already at the point of translating the script, so no more changes could be made. The stages and bosses were also already done, so making any alterations at that point would have been difficult. I believe the story of Devil May Cry 2 was outsourced to a non-company writer, so I'm not sure how it ended up like it did. Once we got the scenario, I was told I could fine-tune as long as changes weren't big ones. So I augmented some dialogue here and there. I was careful not to go overboard, given that it was still my first year at the company. Still, I wasn't sure quite how far I was allowed to go.
The impression I get is that they brought in Bingo and said, okay, we need you to help fix this game up. Everything is done and you're not allowed to touch anything. Good luck. Yeah. And then lock the door from the outside.
Yeah.
Development in the final months was reportedly a nightmare of crunch and team members fulfilling multiple roles, with Bingo Morihashi recalling only sleeping 2 hours a night, sleeping at the office during lunch breaks, and only going home to wash and change clothes, working himself so hard he even started to cough up blood. Video game industry, it's always been great.
Yeah.
So this is a screenshot from a GameStop preview that claims Magic Johnson who? Dante will perfect the art of the no-look pass in Devil May Cry 2. Now, I gotta say, this is a screenshot from their preview in asterisks because we looked up the original image, and I don't know if maybe Internet Archive ate it up, or maybe if it actually was that bad in the original article, but it looked like this. Yeah. This was the picture that we saw. Crop like that, saturation like that. Like, I almost left it like this for the slideshow because I think that is hilariously crunchy, but I went ahead and found the actual screenshot and used that to clean it up a bit. Anyway, while being open about Devil May Cry 2 being developed by a nearly entirely new team from the first game, previews from September to November 2002 seemed highly positive, toasting many new features and enhancements, some directly influenced by a survey Capcom did asking what aspects of the first Devil May Cry game players liked and didn't like. Johnny, why don't you tell them about the features that were suggested in the previews?
That's right, Chucky. We have a dynamic difficulty system, fully customizable controls, multiple paths through missions, wider areas and bigger spaces in levels, an improved camera system, improved enemy AI capable of ganning up and surrounding you in encounters, double resolution graphics, a fire-breathing dragon, and a vehicle to fight and move with, according to producer Tsuyoshi Tanaka, which, based on further research, might have been a motorbike. This is taken from the official UK PlayStation 2 magazine,
Now,
issue number 26, and a brand new car. Oh,
now,
no,
oh, I guess it was a motorcycle.
never
Now,
mind.
when they say reportedly was to be a motorcycle, do you mean the vehicle to fight and move, or the fire-breathing dragons? Like, did they not know what a motorcycle was and thought it
No,
was some
no,
sort
no.
of metallic fire
Yeah,
demon?
No, the vehicle was a separate mention.
Okay. And also, double resolution graphics is in quotes here because we don't entirely know
Yeah.
what they meant. I'm assuming like the texture resolution was doubled.
Yeah, every preview I read was very vague on what doubling graphics meant. I can tell you, having played both the first and second game on real hardware, it's not the output resolution. They both output at 480i.
So
So
ultimately, the vast majority of these and other features were either cut, poorly implemented, or not as grand as described. And highly questionable how many of these suggestions had gone beyond the planning stage, and if they ever had a chance to be implemented into a game that was roughly 2 to 3 months from release. And yes, we did link the article there, which Johnny does highly recommend that you read.
yeah, it's
maybe after the stream,
trip.
but yeah.
Yeah.
So, the game is released. Devil May Cry 2 is released for PlayStation 2 on January 28th, 2003 in North America, March 28th in PAL regions, to mixed reception. Most reviews were negative, citing the far too easy gameplay, shallow combat and weapon systems, sparse level design that left enemies spread far apart from the player and each other, and Dante's dramatically different brooding persona. The game, shipping on 2 DVDs with each player's character campaign on separate discs, was called out as a marketing ploy to make the game seem bigger, as each campaign shares most of the same enemies and levels, and could easily have fit onto a single disc. And both campaigns can be completed in just a few hours. However, there were some positives highlighted by some reviewers, such as Lucia's storyline, or some reviewers who prefer Devil May Cry 2's far easier difficulty level. Sales-wise, Devil May Cry 2 did well on release, cited as one of the top 10 best-selling PlayStation 2 games for the first half of 2003 in the United Kingdom, selling between 500,000 and 1 million copies in Japan, being rewarded the 500,000 yen gold prize at the 2003 PlayStation Awards, totaling roughly 1.4 million sales worldwide by the end of March. However, these numbers were considered to have not met expectations by Capcom, selling less than the first Devil May Cry and bottling out at 1.7 million sales on PlayStation 2. Devil May Cry 2's derided legacy may best be represented by Capcom's own treatment within the series in the future. The game has been repeatedly moved around the series timeline to try and divorce the events of the game from the rest of the series, and even considered to be removed from canon at some point. In Devil May Cry 5's video summary of the series timeline leading up to the new game, Devil May Cry 2 receives the shortest coverage, getting a one-sentence summary with no plot details and only 10 seconds of screen time in the 5-minute and 40-second recap. And we have this last bit of interview here from the art book, talking to Itsuno, where even the interviewer in this fluff piece for Devil May Cry 2 is saying Devil May Cry 3 is sometimes seen as redemption for DMC2. Is that not only Capcom's position but yours as well, Itsuno-san? And the one bit I want to highlight is at the very top where he says, "Without Devil May Cry 3, I would be known as Itsuno, the director of DMC2." Yeesh.
Yeah, and if you read more of this art book, Itsuno and some of the other developers go into detail about how much they wanted to prove they could do a better job and wanted to go on to do 3 as well. There's some amazing insights in that book. It's you have to buy, obviously, so if you want to go out and find it, you have to make that choice, but it highly recommended for all this history stuff. They are very candid about how badly Devil May Cry 2 went, which is refreshing to see.
And speaking of all this history stuff, that will do it for all this history stuff. And I think it is time for us to get into Devil May Cry 2 and see why they felt they needed a redemption from this game. So let us get it started.
I'm going to quickly highlight a message from the Antihero 412 that a 68 seems kind of high. Funny enough, the way review scores used to work back in the day, even like a middling game tended to score kind of high because a lot of reviews were asked to score every aspect separately and average. So most of these reviews would have been like, oh, the graphics is like an 8 and the sound's like an 8, but the gameplay is a 4, and then averaged it out.
Okay, so
that's why the review scores I think are more positive than if, say, someone reviewed it these days.
I will say there's not much in the way of options here. It's really just sort of visibility.
Oh, what about those
not
customizable...
visibility, it's vibration, rather.
What happened to the customizable controls? It was in the preview I read.
Yeah, what happened to the customizable controls? Huh.
Oh well.
Anyway, also, the brightness should be good for the stream, but, Chad, if it looks too dark for you, then please tune your screen until you can see each color section clearly. I'll give you a second.
I love this is the
all right.
This is the PlayStation 4 version, I guess technically you're playing,
yes,
correct?
This is the PlayStation 4 version.
And
play it on the
kept
PS5.
the screen in. Yeah.
So let's jump in.
In a time long since past, in an age of darkness, when the earth was overrun with demons and humans were powerless under their rule, humanity's hope lived in a demon named Sparda, with a spirit unlike any other, and wielding the sword that bore his own name. Sparda eradicated the demons.
I was very lucky to find it at the pawn shop. It's like, oh wow, that's my name. I didn't think I'd ever see that.
So, we're playing the HD version here. Before you go say it, I'm not sure about that double resolution graphics thing. Based on some of these. Like, some of the textures, some of the others I'm not so sure on.
Demon Slayer.
It's a little hard to tell with an HD collection sort of thing.
Yeah.
I missed.
You called?
Till next time, son of Sparda.
I see you also know how to play Almost Kill a Stranger. Going to South America on this horribly inaccurate map.
Yeah, the geography of the Devil May Cry series has always been a little weird. It's in like fantasy Earth. But the architecture here doesn't scream South.
Yeah, I assume this is like an island.
Yeah.
Ow.
Oh, it'd be so cool though. He did the hero pose and everything.
There we go. You got, it's a standard DMC. Guns on square.
Mm-hmm.
Triangle's your sword. Lock on R1. And circle is a dedicated dodge button.
Yes.
You know what other Devil May Cry game had dedicated dodge button? DMC.
Hell yeah. Though I'll say here, I don't think it's as redundant as it was in DMC. The main reason it's there is because the lack of a lock-on for how things work. And yes, also the wall running is a new mechanic you can do with the dodge button in this.
Roll, run, and do all that, and you actually start with air hike, which I really appreciate, because air hike has always been like just the start of the game tax.
Yeah. Is it? I mean, is it kind of spoilers to say that you kind of start with everything?
You do kind of start, like, I can show you, not there.
Well, you can't really, no.
I can.
You gonna show me you gonna show me the moves, all of them? Because I don't think they're in the game.
Not weapon, action. So you can see that at least we have air hike, we have stinger. We start with stinger. We start with rainstorm. To some time.
Okay, so they showed these.
Start with double trigger.
But there are some moves missing here. From what I can tell, the full moveset was only printed in an inlay in the Japanese release. Because, like, the specific combos, there's also, like, an air juggle move and some other abilities are, like, just never conveyed to the player.
Lorb.
But yeah, very, very similar start to Devil May Cry 1, where you come into the castle area and you go along the cliff. That's a fun looking skybox though. I'll give it that.
Little, yeah, kind of surreal looking skybox.
Yeah.
I wonder if they made it with AI. Okay, unlike DMC 1, you get into combat real fast.
Mm-hmm.
So something about this game that you'll notice, if we stay quiet for a moment, is that it's fucking loud.
Yep, it's loud. I do have, as a combat advisor, I do have a pro tip for this first encounter, which is to stand still and hold the square button.
Okay. Well, I'm going to play this like I normally play a DMC game, but I do want to show how loud this is.
Okay, yeah. Which is very arcade, the design of the team. Back when arcade machines had to compete with sound to be like the loudest thing to draw attention.
Well, you know, if you're in your living room playing this, you know, who knows how many people are watching TV shows on different televisions in the same room?
Okay, so what I'll do quickly is I'll explain how the combo system works, because they did change it for this game, and it's not explained in the manual or in-game. So in the first game, Dante's various combos were done by using a series of button presses with pauses. In this game, you do a button press and then you hold a direction and then do additional moves, and it's based on where in the combo you start holding the stick. So you can't really hold a direction towards an enemy unless you want to modify your combo. Because there is the lock-on button, but you're also always locked onto enemies. That just stops you from like locking onto other enemies. And yes, if you're in the air and you're holding R1, you do that little like kick backflip combo.
Which is it's a fun little move. Like whoop, whoop, wah.
Okay, so I think is this a wooden door? Yeah.
Yep. Got it. Our secret rooms. No mission, just kill, I guess.
Yeah. This might be a good time to show off what I mean about the shooting. I know
right,
you've already won this fight.
No, I have not won. He is hoping I don't notice him. Hello.
Maybe it's a turn-based encounter.
All right, your turn, my turn. All right, your turn. All right, my turn. Your turn. Too late. Oh, okay. What would you like me to show off?
Just find a spot to stand in and just hold the shoot button.
Now,
there we go.
Now, would this generally work in DMC 1, would you say? Is this the meta of the original Devil May Cry 1?
Not quite. Well, for first off, you actually had to press the button multiple times unless you were on easy auto. But guns, the main handguns did not used to didn't stun enemies like this, nor did it launch them up into the air somehow.
Yeah, I'm noticing I'm hitting launchers for no reason.
Yeah, yeah. If you just shoot enemies for long enough, they just pop in the air. It's very strange. And just with the rate of fire, and I'm not against like having automatic fire. So that's not so much the issue. It's just how powerful the guns are in this game.
Oh, good. I took so much damage during that fight.
Though still quite counterintuitive, because if you use the guns, which are the most effective weapons, you get abysmal style ranking, because it's still using like Devil May Cry 1's style ranking for combos.
I'll keep that in mind, because I do want to try and go for decent style ranks.
Alright, we do have another secret room nearby. Let's see, if you continue down the path, you'll run into an obstruction. Oh yeah, lots of little hidden orbs as well. You can see a bit of this, like, more expansive, bigger open area stuff, though we'll see even more of that later.
Okay, so obstruction around this way.
Yeah. Oh, no. So that door, the next door, you have to double jump over this.
Mm-hmm.
You have to walk up the wall.
No, I got it.
Yeah, I don't know why the guide records you had to walk up the wall.
All right, what's our mission? Secret room. Shoot. Okay.
Yeah.
Usually these secret rooms are stuff like, you know, you can only damage enemies if they're up in the air, or you have to juggle, or time limit.
They're small, like, context challenges that not only were challenges, but also would help teach gameplay mechanics to the player. Like, for example, there's one in Devil May Cry 1 where they put those giant skull head enemies in like a big staircase, and they teach you to use that to jump off of enemies' heads to climb up all of them, stuff like that. And yeah, as far as I know, I think all the secret missions in this game are small encounters. Oh, bingo. Also, I'm a big fan that the D ranking for the star meter in this game is, don't worry.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry about it. Just hit the square button. I think dodging might be the faster way of moving.
Oh, 100%, yeah. It's a Legend of Zelda roll-in, for sure.
I know if I go up here, I'll get some fights.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Yeah, it's really hard to go from, like, a newer Devil May Cry back to some of these older ones. Like, even Devil May Cry 1. For how, like, simple they feel compared to the later ones. Granted, you know, at the time, it was definitely, like, sort of, like, revelatory in terms of gameplay. But, you know, with the benefit of hindsight, it's like, it's a little hard to go back to some of these. Even, like, compared, Devil May Cry 3 was such a huge leap forward from both games prior. Why? Get up there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Chat saying anything?
Let's see. We got a comment about demon milk, I think. I'm not sure about that.
Sure.
But Ambolgan says, so far this looks inoffensive from a gameplay standpoint, but it does look slightly boring. Well, strap in if you think it's boring so far.
Stay with us. We'll make it exciting. Anyway.
We got 33 more missions, but trust us. One thing. Nope. I'll come back to it.
No, I was going to say that...
I'll definitely say even going back to Devil May Cry 3, if you're used to Devil May Cry 4 or 5 Dante, and going back to that very strict, like, you have to pick your style system thing, is a little like you know, you lose muscle memory. It feels like, and I get why people would do like the mods or the Switch version that added that back in.
I mean, you gotta go with the Switch version. That's the version to play these days.
So I remembered. So one of the key things in Devil May Cry 1 was that so most encounters in Devil May Cry 1 were like this, where you would get forced into a locked area and have to fight enemies. This is the first encounter we've done where you have to beat the enemies to get past.
Yeah, like I think I could have just left a lot of those enemies behind.
Yes.
Like I'm doing the fights because that's ostensibly the game.
Yeah.
And I want to get the red orbs, but
I guess there are multiple ways to beat levels was, well, you can fight if you want.
yeah.
Also,
I mean,
this guy has like a yo-yo attack.
Didn't they say they were gonna get rid of like the fixed camera angle stuff in like the preview stuff, like not have this situation?
Yeah, they claimed they were gonna make it better and that it was gonna track Dante better. I honestly think the camera's worse in this game because a lot of the camera cuts don't make sense. A lot of the time when the camera tries to follow Dante, it's usually like too zoomed in or he's not center on camera. Like they do more dynamic stuff with the camera than I think Devil May Cry 1 does, but I think it's not refined enough to really work, so it's just kind of worse off for it. Oh, nice though. Got first lion statue.
Yeah. I want to say there's something around here, but we'll see. I assume I don't have anywhere near enough. All right, yeah. Doesn't say what I get out of it.
Oh, yeah, well, hold off on that then.
Could buy a blower.
You could.
But I won't.
Yeah, probably worth saving it for now.
The smell of fear. This will allow you to avoid enemy attacks up to 3 times. That's weird.
Yeah. There was like
Item.
a temporary invincibility item in the first game. It's just they slightly changed it. But they did keep the gimmick where using items does affect your end ranking and thus how many red orbs you get as
I generally really try not to use items in Devil May Cry games. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there supposed to be a blue orb piece around here somewhere?
Let me double check.
Next to this first statue? I could have sworn there was one.
Oh yeah. Jump into the sewers.
Oh,
so it is around here, but in the sewers.
Just down here. Okay.
So it is in the stinky
There
area.
we are.
There we go.
All right. Why are you trying to entice me with like such a tiny amount of red orbs? That's like holding $1 above me and going like, oh, $1. You want that, don't you?
Oh yeah, Satenga mentions, what gets me is how anyone going into this game blind doesn't realize that the melee moveset they have now is what they're stuck with for the entire game. And yeah, I did reference some of that earlier, but yeah, unlike the first game, there are no melee moves to unlock. There are things to unlock technically, but in terms of the moveset,
yeah, and the melee stuff is already feeling pretty limited.
yeah.
Like, I have muscle memory trying to do, like, delays and stuff, and I know that doesn't work in this game. That's not how this one functions.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little confusing. Also, I find in this game the best way of building star meter is usually just to keep doing stinners and high times.
All right.
Yeah, for some reason the extended sword combos actually don't seem like they build style, but a lot slower. And then of course you have to do gunshots to keep the combo going, but hope the gunshots don't just kill the enemies.
Are you ready? Well,
Yeah.
apparently not. We'll probably get up to S once we get into like rooms with more stuff in them,
Yeah, hopefully.
or enemies that aren't going to die as quickly.
Yeah.
I would like that though. There we go. I should just use Devil Trigger on me here. Watcha.
Yep.
So yeah, in Devil Trigger, I shoot lightning instead of bullets. Is he just holding his fingers up?
Yeah,
he
it's
has
just like palms. Oh, okay, yeah. I think I think barrels are coming out of his palms or something.
I think he does have barrels there. Right? I was hoping
think
that he's just like sticking up finger guns.
Oh, nah, you got to play Devil May Cry 5 for that. Oh, thank you, God, Satan. Someone threw that for you.
Thanks, God, for the sub. Anything in here? I could wall. I was gonna say I could wall run, but not at that angle. I know you can wall run at an angle. It's just there we are.
Yeah, yep, there it is.
Wasn't useful.
Oh no, there's very little use for it. I always remember that room. Even having played this game a couple of times, I always forget what exactly the door is because it doesn't look like a door you can open until you get close to it. So it'll probably come up a bit later on, but one thing I can mention is a while ago I did a playthrough where I tried, you know, I was like, okay, this game's notoriously easy, but how does this game look on the hardest difficulty? Which is the Dante Must Die mode. Yeah, it's still easier than Devil May Cry 1, but there are some interesting quirks. But yeah, the enemies do have a lot more. Well, they have a lot more health, but maybe not enough still. And they don't. I don't think they get that many new attacks, but they do fight you a little better. But it's like very troubling how easy a lot of it still is on the hardest mode. And obviously because you have to unlock that mode, you're likely to have like full health, full devil trigger, all the upgrades.
I never
by that point as well.
Even as like a Devil May Cry fan, I never really got into playing the games on like the very difficult difficulties.
Same. Yeah. I know there's like a limit to I can do like Son of Sparta in most of the games, and that's about my limit, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact progression of difficulties, but I would say that anything above what you would just call hard mode is not.
Yeah,
that's what you want to play.
So it depends on which game you're playing, but most of them. So Devil Hunter is normal, Son of Sparta is hard, and Dante Must Die is the very hard. Devil May Cry 3 and Special Edition are slightly named different because of the weird messing that Capcom USA did to make the original release harder, so it has like an extra difficulty mode. It's a mess.
Have we met before?
Oh. Why did I blow up? Because it looked cool. Had to have an action moment. Yay!
Alright. Well, D on clear time, but we're talking. D on style, but we're talking. D on damage, we're talking.
I feel like for clear time in these, you would have to skip a lot of encounters, but I don't know how you would then get a good style average. Like, legit, I don't know if it's possible to get, like, S ranks, like, average on normal mode.
Yep, I don't need to save again. Get to the next mission. I'm also going to bump the game audio up just a tad.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Mathieu? Mathieu? Mathieu?
Good grief. They really made a big mess, didn't they? It sure took him a while to find this place. Oh, you have arrived, son of Sparta.
You knew him?
Oh, yes. We are the guardians of this land, Vidumali. Our clan once fought against the demons with Sparta, son of Sparta. we must ask this favor of you. You see, there's a man who's transformed our land into a demon's paradise. His name is Arias,
It's Jeff Bezos.
president of the International Public Corporation. He uses the demon power. Please,
You know what? I just realized how much that is like the DMC Devil May Cry premise.
Looks like it's your lucky day.
Came up Trish butt.
I am very pleased. It leads to a harbor.
One thing I didn't find in doing research is why Dante is Two-Face
We'll tell you
and has to flip a coin all the time.
your father.
Executive dysfunction.
Again, maybe that producer was just like, really likes Two-Face.
Who's writing? Like, this is a guidepost for the hunters, right?
Yeah, I don't know where
who-
this text is from.
Oh, my question is, who's writing this, like, guide for hunters that is solely about Dante?
Yeah,
Like,
in
just so
this
you know,
in
this,
this current present time, yeah.
so you know, this guy Dante, he's gonna get something called the Aerial Heart, and it's gonna give him a chance to reach the skies. Because this doesn't apply to anyone else. Right, do I have enough to power up? Now, I could power up my sword. Do I want to power up my sword?
I'm trying to remember if you press square on it, or X, sorry, if it'll tell you what it does.
It'll probably buy it.
I want to say it doesn't.
Oh, it'll ask me if I want to enhance the sword.
Okay, it doesn't say what it does. So, yeah, I'll well, break the glass. So all the weapon and upgrades in this just make them do more damage.
Okay, so would you suggest I get the sword upgrade or hold off for guns?
God, the guns are already so powerful. We definitely... Here's the thing. Unfortunately, we'll need to upgrade the guns because there are some bosses where you can
Yes.
only fight them with the guns.
In fact, there's one I'm thinking of, so I think I'll hold off for guns.
Yeah,
Sooner I get that done, the better.
yeah. And we're quite far away from worrying about health. Oh, this... the second level opens pretty bad.
Are the sounds of the underground tomb? You must defeat it. But, oh, like this.
Yeah, sick combos.
What? Nope. There we go. Now that looks suspicious. And that's the way I can't.
Yeah.
So they fixed the
Yeah,
camera
that's-
stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's coming back to me. One of the problem with this game's camera is that because it's kind of dynamic, it doesn't always use the same fixed camera angles for areas. So you can like come back to an area and have a completely different point of view on it, and not realize where you are. Oh, yep. And that's a fun thing when the enemies are spawning in. You can't hit them for like
Yep.
3-4 seconds, so you just have to wait.
I have noticed.
I find the preview mentioning that enemies will gang up on you kind of funny because did they not do that in Devil May Cry 1? Like, did I play a different game?
Okay.
Ah, they tricked you. Well, Slime Generator says the level transition effects feel like when I stand up too fast. Oh yeah, iron deficiency GAN, rise up. Actually, you're not done.
Don't.
It's probably for the best. Take care of yourself out there, folks. So it's a very minor thing, but with these games, like the details are very granular on things. And something I find with this game having a separate dodge button is that it actually nerfs jumping. One of the like key things about jumping in Devil May Cry games, even as far back as the first game, is jumping was also just a dodge, and it had like a lot of parts of the animation where you're invincible, so it's just as effective as doing the side rolls. And throughout like various
Can you
times
tell
I've
what's
tried
happening,
playing this,
by the way?
yeah, oh yeah. Well, like I
I
said,
don't care. I don't care about that bat over there.
Yeah, well, the auto lock does. we
we
mentioned it DMC earlier, and how like I don't agree with the people who say like it's worse than this game. But it is funny that it does share some of the same issues.
All right, what is the optimal way? Do you know? If this...
I think it's just, you know, doing damage. So probably just doing the longest combo, which I think is 2 attacks and then direction, and then it's like 4 hits afterwards. I think it does have to be sword hits, though. I don't think you can cheese it with the guns. Okay.
No, it didn't break it.
Oh, no, I don't think it breaks completely.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so after doing that, if you walk up to a coffin to the back of the... maybe behind the stone?
Behind this stone?
No, no, I think the striking stone you just did.
Oh, okay. Well, I think I'm gonna have to fight some bats.
Yep.
Or not. All right.
I mean, finding the bats is just holding square because the game just auto locks on everything, and
enemies.
One
Hello.
well.
Enemies anywhere?
Yeah. There might be. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
so,
okay. Oh, just that. Oh, of course. That.
Oh,
There's a secret room right there.
I'll give him that. That's very Devil May Cry 1 levels of like hidden secret. Also, this is interesting because they've just spoiled an enemy reveal here.
I think they did earlier too, actually.
Yeah. These are the Brontomancers. No relation to the Brontosaurus, of course, which is not a real dinosaur. It's 2 other dinosaurs put together. That's it's a joke for all my dinosaur nerds out there.
These... I would almost like not want to do these rooms more for the fact that I know you get blue orbs out of these.
Yeah. You know what? They mentioned in the previews as well about reducing the amount of puzzles, and I was a bit curious about that first because I'd say in the main missions there's about the same amount of puzzles, if not more. I wonder if what they meant by that was we took out the like the puzzle challenges in the secret rooms, because in that sense, yes, they took all the puzzle part out. But this is already like an extended puzzle sequence because you're breaking these walls that keeps moving this big wall in the middle.
Thinking of this big wall in the middle. Aha! Oh. Aha!
Hey! I don't know how you got there, but...
Joke's on you. This was a good trap. Alright, so yeah, 4 blue orb fragments gets us blue orb, gets us a extended health bar.
Mm-hmm.
Less puzzles, huh?
Yeah.
Alright, let's... Well, you know what? I bet I go to the door and it's like...
Yeah.
Yep. Light a blue flame, and then the way will be opened.
So this one I find interesting. Try it first, and figure out, okay, what do you think the puzzle is here, as it keeps going.
Whoop.
I think most people would assume, oh, you messed the puzzle up. You haven't.
Yeah, just keep going.
Yeah, so the way it plays out, it looks like, oh, you have to break,
right?
You have to break 4 of them before they lower, right?
Yeah. But it keeps changing configurations, so...
You just... Yeah. So, like, you know, are you just waiting for the optimal configuration? But no, it's just break 8 of them. And what that makes me think is that at some point, it was time limited. And someone said, that's not fun. Okay, don't go... No, I think there's a secret room in here with the coffin. Let me double check again.
Well, there's only like 3 coffins this year, so is it that one? No. Is it that one? No. Is it that one? No.
Oh, hang on, no. No, go ahead. It might be a different blue striking orb.
Yeah. We don't have... Thing is, we don't have to like 100% this game.
Yeah.
So if I miss stuff, oh well. Like, oh no, I missed a room where I kill 8 enemies. feel like I remember there being something hidden around here, though,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
So maybe the texture resolution is higher on a lot of these textures, but man, I find this game very unreadable and hard to look at. Like where certain doors are or openings with the way, because even these are high resolution textures, just like the art direction makes stuff like blend
I think
together.
I found an enemy.
Hell yeah.
Non-stop action! Just off screen!
Amazing camera work as well.
I feel like they're waffling on these stone things being passageways or being switches.
Yeah, how things work here is a bit vague. Like why breaking the wall makes that other wall move, who knows?
Oh, that didn't mean to hit that button.
Also, yeah, that's a bad menu. Just how confusing some of the prompts are. Like exit. Doesn't say exit menu, just says exit.
Yeah, I thought for a while that meant leave the game, but
Yeah.
no.
So also, you know, one thing we mentioned in the history was that after about 8 months of development, the only thing that was really working was this Stinner move. If you're familiar with Stinner in Devil May Cry 1, it's this super fast move where Dante like zips across the screen, and you should just, you know, in a big open area, just show what the Stinner looks like in this game.
Sure, here.
It's so much weaker in this.
Also, like,
yeah,
Stinger used to lead into things.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the
Yeah,
strike
and
more.
I can tell exactly where I need to do this. Yep.
Yeah. I'm actually not sure why. Oh god, they do just spoil all the enemies in
Yeah.
these.
Maybe they expected you to do these on your second playthrough. It was like,
Yeah.
you beat the game, and you're like, I wonder if there were other rooms hidden inside these coffins. Showtime.
Hey, look at that.
Don't worry. Does this game have double S and triple S ranking, or does it only go up to
Nah.
Showtime?
Yeah. Devil May Cry 3 was when they added double and triple S.
You know what else this game didn't have? The word jackpot. I did use that in the We're Live post, but Dante never says jackpot in this game.
Yeah.
It's apparently the name of one of the tracks in the game is Jackpot, but
Yeah.
it's an iconic line.
Yeah. I mean, if you come into the game making it about protagonists you did not like, I'm not surprised they didn't keep any of his. Well, you know, it wasn't really an iconic line at the time, but even then, still, like, nothing that stood out from...
I feel like it clearly had
First
the
one.
potential to be an iconic
Oh,
line.
Imagine if the one line they kept was the fill your dark soul with light.
That was the connective tissue throughout the entire series.
Oh, yep, now you have to figure out where the fuck that that door was.
I do remember. I assume... Oh, no, wait. No, I'm can jump here. There's... Oh, come here. Come here, lion lady. Yep, get that. Absolutely.
There we go.
Maybe I'll get the sword next, since that's cheap.
Ambulgan mentions that from your history, it sounds like the recycled cut content from the original Devil May Cry. I'm not sure about that. There's definitely a lot of cut content, though, which is some of the stuff mentioned in those previews. Though, again, I still question how much of that stuff was ever implemented. And highly questionable for like anyone working on this game to tell magazines, like, again, because you have to remember, if a game back then was coming out in like 2 to 3 months, that doesn't mean the game will be, they stop working on it in 2 to 3
look,
months.
new enemy. We haven't seen these guys yet.
Yeah. You know, because, you know, there were only physical releases at the time, so games had to be sent off for mastering, compliance with Sony, things like that. So I imagine they probably only worked on the game for like maybe a couple more weeks after those previews, and they're making all these huge claims. It's like none of that was
Hey,
ever
I'm gonna have a drink real quick,
implemented.
by the way.
Yeah. Make sure you stay hydrated out there, folks, even when playing Devil May Cry 2.
Still a lot of this drink left. It's a big one.
Yeah.
16 fluid ounces.
Yeah.
Anyway, did I kill it?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I was
Always
just
heard
holding
about-
square. I was
Yep.
just holding the square button.
It's one of those one-handed games, like the,
Bayonetta.
yeah, they had those one-handed modes. This was the originator. Probably a good time to mention this. So, how do you feel about this Dante design in general?
I think it's a cool outfit. I don't care for the broodiness of him, but that's not really his design. That's his
Yeah.
characterization.
So, I like how he looks in key art, but this jacket's always confused me because from the front, it doesn't look like it's a long jacket. It looks like he's wearing something with a waistcoat. But the waistcoat doesn't go over the back, so it looks like a jacket where it's just a waistcoat on the front. It looks very strange to me. I think like in
fly away.
the pre-rendered art. And hey, a bit better that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I wish like once you saved it, it was like, okay, you saved it, instead of like, okay, you want to save it again? You want to keep saving? We can keep saving. I'll be here all day if you want to keep saving. Yeah, I know I don't have enough to get anything, so.
Yeah.
I mean, nope. If you see me, folks, if you see me just like roll into a wall for no reason, that means that I'm trying to see if there's a secret.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, it's the question of which is the way forward, because I don't want to go that way.
I think it's down the path there.
Yeah, thank you. There you are. Fix that camera, yeah.
Super fixed, yeah.
I'm gonna be harping on that the entire playthrough, I think.
Oh, it's 100% like worth calling out. Like it's, I mean, game previews have kind of always had this problem, but it's that GameSpot preview in particular is like maybe one of the more egregious examples I can think of in just, you know, like selling a bridge, selling the world for what this game actually was going to be.
We were talking about this last night while we were writing stuff up, and I think what you suggested was that possibly they were just shown video of the game and that they were extrapolating like what the game would actually be like. Like, we don't know that for sure, but that's like an assumption that we made.
Yeah. One thing I did note when I got the info about the potential vehicle section that the producer claimed was in the game in the official PS2 magazine is that they were using a lot of the same screenshots that GameSpot had.
I like that little... go on.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, Amblegan mentions, for how rushed the sequel was, it does not seem especially glitchy so far. I'll give it that. It's not... I've never run into any... even minor bugs, really. But I think it's just the game is so simple that there's so little going on that there's not really much to be bugged. Like, maybe it might be one of those things where, like, the AI being as non-active as it is might technically be a bug, but it's hard to tell with this game.
You know, it's almost embarrassing. I mean, for me, it's almost embarrassing, like, when I'm doing these combos, and I'm trying to string something together, and I do a stinger, and I just get nowhere with it. Why did the enemies respawn?
There's a lot of areas where you can do this. It's because they've made them, like, bigger, so they don't respawn on... Whoa! That guy went flying. They don't, like, respawn when you, like, leave and come back into an area.
Okay, well, I guess we found we can grind if we really wanted to.
Yeah.
We're not.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
I also realized something. We can leave.
Yeah.
We don't have to be here.
I was about to suggest...
No, the camera wanted to be there.
Yeah. And yeah, someone mentions, like, collision bugs or falling out of map. Like, ultimately, with any game in 3D, there's always going to be some method to get out of bounds. Just the nature of how 3D worlds work, you can't 100% prevent that from happening. But, you know, credit to Itsuno, like, how much he got this project across the finishing line. As basic as it is, like, it is completely functional. It's not like it doesn't feel unfinished. It just feels like a bad idea, complete.
Do you know how to? Why did he die? What?
I think there was some infighting going on there.
Huh. Anyway, I was going to ask if you knew how to switch targets when locked on.
I think it might be clicking in L3 while you're holding R1.
Okay. All right, I don't see anything obvious over here.
I could be wrong, and this game doesn't have it.
I wouldn't put it past this game to not have that.
Yeah. Because there's a couple missing things. The taunt. There was actually a taunt in Devil May Cry 1. It's not that documented, but it is missing from this. Yeah. This is a big problem with this game. Like, the doors that you can use and can't use is really hard to discern. Because all those doors look about as real as each other.
Oh, we got something happening. All right, what's the strategy for this guy? While you start telling me, I'm just gonna hold square until you manage to tell me.
Well, he's a monkey. He likes to monkey around a bit. So
right, is that information gonna help us?
The problem is that my most recent playthrough was on the hardest difficulty, and there is some slight differences. I don't know what that attack does, where he grabs the ceiling. I don't know if it actually hits you. If the glass falling down does anything. I think he can grab you, so saving some Devil Trigger can be useful because you can break out of it. But this is the strategy, because this guy can't follow you. This is how I beat Flame Lurker in Demon Souls back in the day.
Yeah.
So. God, I really got to replay Demon Souls again, because I really got to see if I would have the same issues I had with that boss when I was younger.
I've been meaning to play it again.
Block, monkey, that will help.
He can't shoot me if he shoots my arms. Let's see. Might as well pick up that. Well, actually, no, I didn't even lose health at any point in time.
I don't remember if this game does the thing that most of them do, where if you pick up green orbs when you're at full health, you just get.
Let's find out.
I think you're okay.
3208.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's a decent amount.
Oh, in that case, I think there was one more in the corner here.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very generous with the health in this early boss.
All right, I think the way forward is here. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they do not signpost. Wait, this is the way I came.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
no. Okay. Here, then, right? No.
No, you know. Yep, I remember now. No, it's the door on the other side you need to go to. I think. If it's no, wait, no.
No. I can just always turn around.
Okay. Yeah, run towards the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And then there'll be a door coming up on your left. That one. There is a map screen. I never remember to check it. But yeah, sometimes finding the doors is real confusing.
I have a feeling the boss tanked my stylish average.
Yeah. Yeah, because technically they don't display it, but there is an E rank below D. Like when you get like your first hit on an enemy, you're technically in E.
Makes sense.
I mentioned like the kind of the hubris of the previews, like overhyping this game. I was also thinking about this earlier about the whole double disc ploy, because there was some discussion in our Discord, which I don't have the link on hand. I should find that actually. But I thought how kind of messed up of a ploy that is to do to players, because that's a trick that works until someone's brought and played the game. You know, like the sell of like, oh, this is such a big game that we needed to ship it on multiple discs.
This has got to be
And
something.
then that it might just be in the red orb you picked up. I don't remember if this game has hidden.
Yeah.
I don't remember if this game has like hidden red orb spots. I'm guessing it does, just because of how low the red orb grade keeps being. But like on Capcom's side, like that was a marketing ploy that is only going to make your customers realize you lied to them, you know? Because you play the final game, you play the length of it, and you go like, yeah, this is not a game that needed to be on 2 discs. Final Fantasy X, like, it was like 3 times longer than this game, not including optional content kind of thing. Actually, more than that even.
Would it be possible, like, to like look at the ISO size and then like definitively say like, yes, this could have fit on one?
Probably, yeah. So this was also mentioned in Discord, and I've heard this before, but I wasn't able to reproduce this. I've heard claims that if you're playing one character disc and you swap discs in the middle of gameplay really quickly, the game will like continue to play for a certain amount of time.
And then you can
like
take,
I said,
then you can take the ice key to the ice cave.
Yeah, the old stop and swap. Yeah, I've never been able to reproduce it. But I will say, in terms of levels, we'll be going to a lot of similar locale when we get to the second disc.
The second disc will probably be the second stream of this, assuming that we get through. I don't know if we get through this game in one stream in terms of like Dante's playthrough.
Yeah, potentially we could. Oh yeah, showtime. Try to remember if you have to keep fighting these enemies or not.
I don't see a way forward immediately.
Oh, Slime Generator speculates that having it on 2 discs means it would have been more expensive to buy. That's the thing. I actually don't think it was at the time. At least I don't
recall like games like that selling significantly more or anything.
Yeah. Old memories granted, but like even in the PlayStation 1 era where you were buying Final Fantasy disc games on like 3-4 discs on PS1, like those games were typically not more expensive to buy. Oh yeah, it would have been more expensive to produce, which probably would have been more of a loss for Capcom.
That's the thing that makes me question the whole it was a ploy thing, because it is more upfront cost to Capcom to produce like twice as many discs.
Yeah. Well, so something that leads credence to this is Resident Evil 2 on PlayStation 1 shipped on 2 discs.
Mm-hmm. And
Hideki Kamiya, some years later, came out that was actually not needed. They messed up when they were compressing audio for the game. So it ended up way bigger file size than it was intended. and happened so late in development that it was like, well, you either delay the game to fix this or you produce it on 2 discs, putting up costs. And they went with the latter. And it's actually, he's described as like one of his biggest regrets working on the game, and puts it down to his like inexperience. Okay, so I think you can't solve this puzzle.
I can't.
Yet.
I didn't know if that was to open this door or not.
Yeah.
Which is not.
So, but you know, according to Capcom, and I think Hideki Kamiya himself has confirmed this, that Capcom used the 2-disc thing to promote like the size of the game. And I do remember in a lot of those like previews and early, you know, just around launch title, that the 2-disc thing was promoted as like, the game's so big it can't be contained on 1 disc. And that's what I mean by like a ploy to sell to people, because this was the era where people were very like time to value proposition with buying games.
Yeah, it's never really stopped, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think like overall people don't feel the same way, but that was like, it was mostly universal in that time of like, if your game's 10 hours longer, that's great, even if it's not a good 10 hours.
I still see a lot of people doing the whole like hours to dollars thing.
Oh yeah, it's
like,
bad to me.
Because there are people who are like, hey, if you can buy a game on Steam that you can take less than 2 hours to beat, then just refund it. It's like, no, dick.
Yeah. Heck, I've played some games I like that were like 15 hours long. I think it was X-Men Legends, the console like action RPG. I think it was like 15 to 18 hours long, and that game's too long. I was done with it like 12 hours in. Like everything the game had to offer had like been shown at that point, and it's like this game being longer, and it felt very padded, like directly like lowered my opinion of the game at the end.
So it's a good thing that this is a short game then.
Yeah.
Just leave you up all the best memories. That counts, I guess.
I mean, that's not outside the impossibility of Dante's powers to be able to slash through a wall.
I just meant for my combo. Speaking of my combo, I already lost Showtime, so goodbye. Yeah. Alright, so I think it automatically switched me to the news.
Yes.
So,
yeah,
collecting those things gives you different versions of Devil Trigger. And this one...
It's probably the most interesting gimmick in this game, is the potential to change your Devil Trigger abilities.
So now we can go fast.
As you would expect, it's kind of underbaked. Ah, good, you remembered. Okay.
Yeah. you have to duck through that thing, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's a bit of a beginner's trap that most people would get to that door and think, oh, I didn't make it in time. It's like, no, you actually can roll under it if it's not too closed.
I feel like I was getting places I shouldn't have been. Huh. You would think this is the one, right? Because it's lit.
Yeah. Well, there's something I mentioned in the preview stuff that you'll see after this amazing boss.
So this is the point where I've always quit this game.
Oh, okay.
I've never gotten past this boss because I was like, I've done.
Okay, I had a theory. Okay, well, I don't know if you've seen them or not. I had a theory it was a little bit later than this, but I do remember I have this boss always sticks in my head, because when I was a kid I remember this boss taking just a very long time.
It does.
Granted, you can speed it up, so it's, you know, doing that poison attack that's localized entirely around its head, which is, that's where it takes the most damage, but you can, you know, build your Devil Trigger, run in, activate your DT to like tank the damage and then counter. That's probably not the most efficient style method.
Well,
I think this is what I did as a kid though, because I wasn't good at video games. I hadn't played a Devil May Cry before.
let's try and get in there.
Yeah, Satenga's asked about what the fuck is a Jokut Glum? And yeah, I'm not sure. You know, I want to be careful because I don't know if these names are actually influenced by real world like language and mythology that I don't know about.
I feel like they usually are for this series in general.
But a lot of the enemy names do feel like weird, made up, like impossible words. And not as thematic as they were in Devil May Cry 1. But they might have just been pulling from really obscure sources. I might go through the entire Devil May Cry 2 section of the art book and see if they explain where all the enemy names come from.
I'm at the point now where, like, I just don't have the DT.
Yep.
So...
Yeah, that's the thing, actually. You build Devil Trigger really slow in this game. Because I think it's dependent on your style meter. Though, I've noticed... Which I think is new in this. I think you build Devil Trigger by taking damage.
Can I literally just stand? Never mind.
Yep, you do, yeah. Which I don't think you did in the first game.
Alright, let's just try. Stay there. Okay.
But yeah, I don't know if there's a way to actually stop the poison attack. And even though you can sword these tentacles, I don't think they stay away for long.
Yeah, they don't. They come, like, right back.
Yeah. It's the weirdest part of this game where the style meter and some of the stuff with the bosses, there are times where they want you to play it like Devil May Cry 1, but the game's not built for it, and the guns go against that. So
yeah, see how fast I came
punished. Back? Yeah. So you end up getting punished for even trying to play it that way.
I feel like I'm building up DT at least a little faster if I'm destroying these things.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the play?
Yeah, well, the taking the hits is definitely building it.
Yeah, that too.
And I think dodging, if you dodge like the last second, I think it can build DT, because it does build style in this.
Now, there is a mechanic to, like, if you're at very low health, you'll get like a super DT mode. But you have to be like at 10% health, and this boss does poison damage.
Yeah, fun fact, I like I said, I did the playthrough on the hardest difficulty, asterisks for 3 bosses we'll talk about later, and I still never saw that DT form. It was very rare for me to even get that low health. So I've never seen it in-game. Like, I've seen videos of it, but I've never used it. And yeah, it never comes up in the story. But it funny enough, is very much like a prototype for what they would eventually do in Devil May Cry 5. It's an interesting aspect in this game that a lot of its ideas or scrapped ideas did inform what would be the future of the series.
Yeah, I am building up DT faster by attacking the destroying the tentacles, but not that much faster.
Yeah. And yeah, and like, we don't have health meters, I think, for the tentacles.
No.
Just the main one. But I don't think you're even doing like that much more damage either with the sword.
I mean, at least it feels more like I'm doing something if I'm using the sword to a certain extent.
Yep.
All right.
We do have some info here. Slime Generous says a Joker is a Japanese name for a Chinese goddess with the body of a snake. And Meat Shield says the DMC wiki says that this thing is likely based off of Nuwa with some Lermnine Hydra elements added in. Sorry if I mispronounced that.
So I've never beaten that boss. Not because I couldn't beat that boss, but because I would always get there and be like, I am so bored of this game.
Yeah. This game's an endurance in a very different way than it's
gun scattering bullets in a wide area.
Its challenges are survival of will, not
all right.
Hey, it's that vehicle they talked about.
Yeah, my fire-breathing dragon. That was the vehicle segment.
So why did Dante do any of this? Why did he go get that bike?
It was there. Like he killed the monster, and a bike showed up, and he was like, "Ooh, bike."
Well, I mean in the grander scheme, like this lady's told him to go after this evil
Oh no,
CEO.
I just assume Dante does everything based on the exact moment that he's doing it, right? Like he has no planning on anything. He's just like, what's in front of me?
Yeah.
Can I shoot it? All right, let's do that. All right. Speaking of this game being an endurance, it's also being endurance on my bladder. So we're gonna take a brief intermission, and then we'll be right back with the next mission. So sit tight, folk. All right, we're back. So let's move on to the next mission.
Oh, it's probably that motorcycle driving mission they mentioned. Close to your eyes, but far off in your mind, a hunter must learn the value of options. I played this game. I do not know what that. Oh,
Where'd it go? Oh no! Come back!
okay. Look at the texture on this wall to the right here.
Uh-huh.
Double resolution graphics.
I mean, you know, we're now playing this on a PlayStation 4.
Yeah, but I don't think that would have looked good on. You know, okay.
It feels like
Most
it should
people
be
were
something.
on. Most people would have been on composite. But if you were playing, say, like the most optimal output, so you had like a component or RGA output, but to get like the highest PS2 resolution, I don't think that texture would have looked like as bad as anything in Devil May Cry 1.
Oh, I don't like these
Also-
enemies.
Yeah. Well, I do have a pro tip: is if you don't move. Also, you've picked up a shotgun. They
Yes.
don't really show it. There is like a sweet spot you can stand in. There we go.
Oh,
There is like sweet spots you can stand in where these walls will just not hit you. I think you have to like not be too close to a wall. There we go.
yeah, all right.
Yeah. The winning move is to not play. Apparently, turns out.
This wolf is
Also-
freaky.
Yeah.
Freaky.
Someone gonna match this wolf's freaky.
So, hey, there is a button to just switch between your
Yeah. I mean, that's
guns. That's
that
new.
is a great enhancement for sure. It's the interesting thing about this game is it's not lack of good ideas. There are some really interesting ideas in this game, and I imagine most of that came from Mitsuno in the final couple of months.
You notice how sometimes the enemies just, like, decide they don't want to fight anymore?
Oh, did you see that skull guy?
That really felt like it should have been something in that little alcove right there. Oh well.
Also, we've had a few mentions for the Ghost Rider PlayStation 2 PSP game, which was our intro music, and yeah, that's an interesting one. I need to do a full playthrough of it one day, but it's a really interesting take to make a God of War Devil May Cry hybrid, where it kind of like hits like both styles of hack and slash. And yeah, that does have playable motorcycle sections, which I remember being fun.
I played the Game Boy Advance version of that.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a Game Boy Advance version.
Oh yeah, Way Forward made it.
Oh, not interesting.
And it also has motorcycle sections.
Hell yeah. What are you doing trying to use a melee attack? The enemy's flying. They don't want you to use the sword, remember? Also, yeah, here's some of that much teased big open area design. I noticed that the twosome attack, where you shoot one in front and behind, does build style quite quickly.
I feel like it's hard to get that to work though.
Yeah, it is. I think you have to be locked on and then like point away from the enemy you're locked onto. But it's not as easy to do as it is in Devil May Cry 3 if you're using the gunslinger style.
Surely there's something over here. Well, there's a statue.
Yeah. Fizz, I can't tell if this is the way forward or not.
Worth it. I feel like I have enough for the sword, but I feel like I should save up for the handguns again, or maybe the shotgun.
Yeah, well, if not that, then a future ranged weapon.
A future range weapon. Okay, I'll bear that in mind.
Yeah.
I assume we don't get any different swords.
Oh, no, there are multiple swords in this game. Yep, I knew that was going to happen.
I mean, it certainly looks like...
It's hard to tell where you exit. So I see that happen a lot. Especially because this game actually likes to have Dante run towards the camera a lot. But yes, there are multiple melee weapons. Though I want to say they're actually missable.
Oh, I might get my ass kicked here.
Yeah. Hey, we might be able to do that other devil form.
Unfortunately, I am sort of using it up now on this.
Yeah.
I should probably take care of these guys first.
Yeah.
Come here, you. If I can get up here.
Also, yeah, so the shooting down, it's timing based when you do the double jump. It's
Why?
I'm trying to remember what the name of the move is in Devil May Cry 3. Rain and Storm, I think, where he shoots directly down. So I think that happens if you start shooting like in the middle of the double jump animation. But yeah, it just points straight down. You can't really aim it. But that's why that move is happening.
Now
might as well
it's
just use an
time.
item, yeah.
Alright, good. I probably don't need to use that yet.
Yeah. Good dodge, though. Good dodge. And it's not that this guy's hard, because this is just a version of that first boss again. It's
just throwing stuff at me at the same time is part of the problem.
Yeah, and it's again, if you try and fight it like a Devil May Cry 1 fight.
Yeah, which I do want to do, because here's part of the problem, is I'm trying to balance, like, optimally playing this game with also being interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Because there's... An unfortunate thing of this game is that the best way to play it is just to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know. That's totally a good show. Because it's good to show though, because it does showcase, like when you do try and play it how, like, you can tell the designers did want you to play it based on the style ranking and the end mission ranking stuff. That's where it falls apart the most. I think, like, I see a lot of times when people play this, they just go like, "Oh, this game is really boring." Hang on, this is. I think progress is around here somewhere. I don't know what's going on with this big void. I think it cut. Oh,
It's just there.
God.
I was feeling around for like secrets and stuff.
Also, I don't think where we are now is where you jump to. Oh, here we go though.
Okay.
But like, I think this game, like, its problems get more egregious when you do try and play it like Devil May Cry 1. So here we go. Now we've got some amazing enemy design here. It's a demon tank. I don't know what the story is. They say infested. I don't know if these were normal, you know, tanks, married, couple of kids, and then they got infected with demon power.
They got worms.
Or if just tanks like this exist in the demon world. Yeah. So
I was hoping
trying to find some safe spots, but yeah, the projectiles will clip through each other.
I was hoping I could just get around it.
I mean, if you really want to get around it, you could just leave.
Oh, this is not mandatory?
This is not mandatory.
Oh.
Like most fights in this game.
I'm already this far in.
Yeah, we got to show off all these amazing... Oh, look at that cool attack. That's the funny thing with these tanks. They do have a lot of, like, moves. They just don't really hit you. They have all these attacks, but they can't move. I bet at one point they were intended to move. And they were just like, yeah, we can't get the programming to work, or we run out of time. Like, yeah, I think progress is actually up that curved road.
Get some health back with Devil Trigger here, at least.
Yeah.
Yo, yeah, gotta get that S rank. The most stylish combos.
Yep.
We have to find the answer.
Say something nice.
Okay. I'm trying to think, because we've done some kind of references, but I'm trying to think of one that doesn't just reference, oh, here's stuff they came up in this game that they fulfilled in the future games.
I mean, I have some issues with the lock-on, but it doesn't control badly, I would say. So I've played some, like, dog shit controlling character action games.
Yeah. I'll have to play Devil's Advocate instead of Devil May Cry. That if you were someone back in the day who played Devil May Cry 1 and wanted to like it, but just the kind of brutal get good difficulty, like that game has no quarter, you have to get better at it. If that just, you couldn't gel with that, and
that one's moving.
Something like that was just like casually trivial, that you have no interest in a game that wants you to get better at it, that your fun is just being all powerful and do what you want. Like, this game lets you do that. And there are some defenses of this game that are mostly framed around how, you know, more casual is. Like, there are some people who really like Muso Dynasty Warrior style games, because they can be a bit like switch your brain off, kind of see numbers go up kind of style. And I think this game hits that for some people. And that's going to be my say something nice.
I'm Headful asks, have any of you ever played Nano Breaker? A little bit. I don't think I played too much of it. I had like other things I was playing at the time. But you?
Not yet. It's on my backlist. I have like a big backlist of like PlayStation 2 era Devil May Cry clones to do something with.
Oh,
I know it's built off of one of the Castlevania PlayStation 2 engines though,
so
which were already also slightly Devil May Cry clones.
Look at that. I gotta say, I'm understanding the people who come to the replies for the DMC birthday posts and say, I'd rather play this than Devil May Cry 2. I'm getting it. I'm understanding.
Yep. Like, there are things to do. There is substance to the combat. even with some of its issues that were in that original release or the PC version, because they never got the update.
Oh, you
nice
better believe.
Nice hidden orb there.
You better believe that once we get to Devil May Cry, or DMC Devil May Cry, that we're doing the PC version.
That name is so annoying. Trying to like make sure people understand which game you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Capcom were the ones behind that choice. You know, they're behind a lot of choices for that game. Just still not over how confusing that name is after all these years. I'll be like an old man, and I'll still be going like, that name's terrible.
See, wait, level 5. Have we not missed any secret rooms? Because we haven't seen one in ages. I'm pretty sure we did do 4. Also, these are flying enemies. Of course, got to use the guns. And I don't care if we miss secret rooms because
I think
this is all they
one.
are.
I think we did miss one. But just the one, I think.
I don't think we missed one. Unless when it says secret room level 5, that means like unless like it doesn't count a secret room unless you see it, right?
Yes.
Like
it might be a linear progression, so it will just based on how many you found. That's the combat you get.
So if this was the first one we had found, it would have said level 1.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah, and being that like first encounter you saw. These do actually seem pretty beneficial to do because it's a full like heal and devil trigger gain to get them.
Hey, question: which way did I come in from? I think this is wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fire looks wrong.
Yeah, you've somehow you're back where the that infested tank was.
Wait, I am.
Yeah.
Wait
I think
a minute.
you'll go back up the slope again.
I think I jumped down, and when I jumped down, that wasn't actually the way forward. That was just back where I started.
But it is somewhere like at the end of this road.
Unless I have to. Let me go to here.
Yeah, you don't need the flying, I'm pretty sure.
Oh no, I was curious that if I missed a jump, and maybe like I needed to fly to.
Alright.
Granted, if that were the case, they would have given me some sort of like power-up thing. They wouldn't have just let me hang.
Yeah.
Because you see, I thought maybe I had to get up and over to there. If I missed that jump. Let me just try it.
No. Yeah, definitely not.
Definitely not.
Is it jumping over these rocks here?
Is it going back the way I can't? No, I can't go there. That's on fire.
Okay, check the map. Because we do have a map.
Yeah, good call.
Oh.
Okay.
Never mind.
Yeah, got it. Understood.
Oh. Okay.
You might need to check a guide, but I'm going to go down this way. And just check at the end of this hall.
I do want to say it's somewhere from the top of the road, though.
Oh, wait.
Oh, no, fuck me.
Wait, I was here. Did I just have to kill all the tanks? Was that actually mandatory?
Yeah. Forget infested tank, though. Big bro's here.
Scabby helicopter.
Infested chopper! So, just a pro tip from the combat specialist again. You actually don't fight it here.
Oh.
You can fight it, but it doesn't do anything.
Gotcha. All right.
You actually can't attack it until way later. I don't think the music is bad in this game, but I find it very unremarkable. Like it's definitely trying to do Devil May Cry 1 style, but it ends up just having none of the flair that the first game did.
Doesn't have any like screaming rapping in it.
Yeah, or like a chopped up siren. That might be one of my favorite Devil May Cry 1 songs.
Oh, no, I'm talking about Devil May Cry 3 and onwards.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, this
Oh
is
yeah.
probably
Devil May Cry
bad.
3 is. Yeah, I think that they really elevated the style there.
Oh, nice to see you. And in you.
So it's yeah. So there is like fire slowly coming up this tower. I don't know why.
Oh.
So I think the enemy just has a health bar here because in the game code it has to have one.
That was my assumption, yeah.
Which makes you think, oh, I've got to attack it, but I'm pretty sure if you do, it doesn't do anything. Like even if you empty the health bar, I could be. Oh no, okay. This might be a good point to use the fly if you can't make the jump.
Yeah.
I actually think the speedrun method here is you just fly. So that's some of the whole options thing.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, yeah. So somewhere up here there's a door.
Oh, okay. Don't worry for that.
Wait, I wonder if you went too high.
Nope.
Oh no, there we go.
Okay, now
Like this is kind of an interesting idea of like Dante having to run from an enemy, but it doesn't make any sense why he is, especially because you do just fight this this boss anyway.
Well,
So
I found
while
where
you're-
he lives, so.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, to do his cool flipping.
Alright, now we go down this skyscraper.
And obviously, it's probably a bad idea to attack it for the style ranking at the end of the level because
That's true.
you can't. It would probably count as just having like E rank for half the mission. Yeah, so that you got to climb more of these buildings here. There we go.
I mean, I want this. There we go. I feel like I have better things to be doing right now than fighting these enemies. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Yeah, speak of something better.
God. I'm not using my flying just for this. Get... Ugh,
You sure about that?
I'm thinking about it, but... Yeah, you know what? Get up there. What are you stuck on?
Nope, never mind. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm...
Wait, I can't even get over... Oh, I have to get here. Oh, something was wrong with, like, the geometry there.
Yeah. That was funny. So yeah, again, not any major bugs, but I've never, like, really pushed the flying stuff to its limit, so you could probably find a lot of weird collision stuff like that. The anti-hero says, besides these enemies, I think I've blanked this entire part from my mind. Yeah, this is a very blankable from your mind game. It doesn't stick with you.
Oh, hey,
Oh,
there's your
hell
secret
yeah.
spot.
Okay, so they did keep some of those in.
All right. Where does it want me to go? I know I want me to go up there, but...
So I think you can jump to the building.
Yeah, there we go. I feel like
also-
we had plenty of opportunity to actually start fighting that helicopter,
Yeah.
like, way earlier.
Yeah. I also find it interesting because I think most people can agree in Devil May Cry 1, any of the, like, forced platforming was the weakest aspect of that game. And I feel like this game doubled down on it more than any of the other ones did. Like, it's not particularly hard, but it's also, like, drags the experience down to do this much jumping.
Surely
okay,
we
now
fight it.
you could do a
Okay.
boss fight. Yeah. You could do all your cool sword moves, do a bunch of stinners,
All right,
some
just
hand times.
come right over here. Just walk over here, helicopter, so I can hit you with my sword.
Legit, I don't know how you... Because the only time you could get melee attacks on this is that the boss does sometimes move overhead of you, and you can do that air combo. But, like, I don't know how you would get a really high style rank on this mission outside of doing like the late dodges, you know, like last second dodges.
He's gone now.
And yep, this is no, you can still hit him.
All right. No, there was a time where I just could not hit him anymore.
Yeah, but he'll okay. Well, he'll definitely fly off screen, but in a hittable place, because the camera will not show. Because the camera is vastly improved in this game.
I mean, I could use a Devil Star, but
I think so. I don't know what you have to do. It's like if you're walking backwards or if you're walking at a certain angle, Dante does that like staggered sideward shot. I think that's what the preview was talking about, the whole gangster style animations. Yeah, I don't know why he does that though. Like if you're moving a certain way,
every time I do that, he just goes up.
Yeah. But yeah. See, you are doing a bit of damage there when it was off screen. See, so I guess in theory you could jump onto the pillars here and hit it with the sword.
I mean... Oh, goodbye. Where'd he go?
I'll give the game one thing, like because I don't know how many times I've ever jumped up on these. These are pretty impressive vistas for the time.
Oh yeah, that's, I mean, looking from up here, yeah. That looks nice.
It's looking at the wrong thing because we can't see the boss, but... Oh, hang on, let me see. I might be able to game the system here. Ah, good, no. There's another 15 minutes. I was gonna Redeemer say something nice myself so I could just use the Vista. But yeah, this is one of the boss fights where it just... You know, we got to have a boss fight. We can't really do much. Like, I don't imagine... I think a team nowadays could make a really cool, stylish helicopter fight where it was mostly melee-based. Granted, because there were a decent amount of, like, helicopter sub-bosses in Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, and they were kind of the weakest aspect.
Is this that man versus God thing in those, like, writing memes? Just Dante shooting up into the sky and a life bar going down?
That'd be cool to see.
I'm just gonna have a drink.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you... I don't think you even have to really dodge the missiles most of the time.
I thought that one might have hit.
Yeah, you did get star ranking from the dodge, though.
Yup.
Where are you shooting? Oh, he's doing a sweep.
Let's see if this finishes it. There we go. Jesus Christ. Good.
I love that cutscene where the helicopter just fucking falls on top of him. He's fine though, as this layer cutscene shows. But if you just cut it immediately before that, it just looks like he fucking dies.
Yeah, it just like needs like a sound effect or something.
Yeah. Still B though.
Oh boy. Okay. Save game.
Okay.
All right. Jeremy reaches the sky. Its intestines reflect the color of darkness. Its name means a tower of misery. But it's a guy flipping through the book. Going, I just want to know how to skin a deer. I don't know what.
I wonder what callus is.
I'm so close to handguns, though, is the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you think? Handguns or wait for this mystery third weapon?
I would wait, because there are more guns in this game. There are more guns than the melee weapons in this.
Oh, we're here again. I think?
Yeah, or it's just using the same...
no, I think we are just here again, because I remember this place.
Oh yeah, no, we are just here again.
Which makes me wonder where I'm supposed to go next, because we just sort of went in a circle.
Yeah.
And didn't accomplish anything other than blowing up a helicopter in 3 tanks.
That's a lot of what Dante does in this game.
Ah, here we go.
I do remember as a kid, I remember thinking this cutscene was cool, which is probably because I hadn't seen Sonic Adventure do the same thing a few years earlier. But it's weirdly similar to that like Chaos final boss from Sonic Adventure.
Got a one-liner for us, Dante?
Nah, we're not about witty one-liners here.
All right. Woo. All right, there. That continued to be an issue. I mean, could I just?
Why was he shooting to the side there? Okay, yeah. If you don't want to do the downward shoot, you have to like delay shooting after the double jump. Like, don't immediately press shoot there,
Yeah,
like that.
Like that. And
There
if
it
I
goes.
want to do the combo in the air, I have to hold lock.
Yeah. I want to say as a kid,
What's happening?
Whoa! I've never done this before. Wow. Okay.
I was
gonna have
doing
to
some
turn over-
DMC stuff there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to turn over my combat specialist title. I did not know you could jump on this guy. But as a kid, I don't think I ever learned how to do that that air combo move. Probably because I never used the lock-on button. Because you know, if this was your first game of this style, you would have just. Why would you need to use it?
See, I'm like conditioned to use the lock-on button, so I'm running into the issue of realizing that, like, oh, I don't need to most of the time.
Yeah, I think that's how I discovered the move on a replay, or when I replayed this.
What am I locking onto?
Oh, I think they're like bat spawning.
Oh, that's
I heard like
unhelpful.
the squeak when they die. Did I take damage there? Why did I just stay on the ground for so long? Slime Generator says, weird way to make Dante more serious by having him not talk and just stare up at people silently, like a little kid looking up at an adult. Yeah, it's a really strange characterization they have for him in this.
I was trying to do sword combos in Devil Trigger, but like, why?
There are some.
Oh.
You know, it became, I think, more of a thing in some of the later games, but he does have a couple of different moves in this form.
He does. Like, he was doing like a round trip sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I like this. I thought the boss was done, but I like the fact that his head is a different thing, and his mouth is kind of this weird, like almost like electrical thing going on with like the wiring.
Yeah.
It's almost like Sigma and Mega Man X.
Yeah. I think in terms of like mechanics and design, this is probably the best fight. Oh, I know where they took that. They recycled that attack from. That's some of Griffin's attacks from Devil May Cry 1 there.
I might need to use Devil Trigger at least just for the health.
Yeah.
Again, I go in the Devil Trigger and I'm like, all right, now time to do some 6 sword combos. And it's like, that's not the DPS solution to this fight.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I said this form was cool. Maybe slightly long in the tooth. Slightly.
Yeah. And then the hard mode, they do just tend to give the bosses like 2-3 more like health bars. It does a thing where like it changes color. They just give them like 3 or 4 extra colors.
Also, that is the moment I realized that doing what's that move called? High Rise?
Which one?
When you hold back an attack to swing up.
Oh, yeah, High Time, I think it's called.
High Time? Yeah, I thought it was that or High Rise, but that's the fight. I just realized now that High Time does way more damage. It does kind of like a ridiculous amount of damage.
Nice, nice. See, I had a theory that it was like somewhere around, not this boss fight, but the helicopter stuff or the tanks where you would have quit when you first played this.
No,
So I wasn't
it was
far off. It was
it-
only like one level off.
It was that thing with the tentacles and the poison. That was the point where I realized,
Yeah.
like, oh, it's just guns. Like, this game is just about guns.
Yeah. I keep forgetting there's even an oil rig in this game. I don't know how we get here, by the
Yeah,
way.
but actually, yeah. Why are we here?
I think the problem is when you're playing this game, sometimes you're like, it's so hard to keep your brain active that you don't even pick up on just the weird like lack of anything happening and
Like,
why
that's-
Dante is doing anything.
That is like, we read that in the interviews in the history segment, that when they brought in like the scenario writer, like all the places and like stages were done, but there was no missions. So he just had to
Yeah.
take all these disparate pieces and figure out what order do they go in.
Yeah.
And
I
was
remember
not
that
allowed
now.
to touch the script either.
Yeah.
So it's just like, this is the script and these are the places, make this work.
Yeah, having read that stuff now, it really makes sense. Some of the, especially this whole section is especially like, I don't know why we're doing anything. Like, why Dante's here?
Maybe Dante had like a second job lined up and he's like, well, fuck, I thought it was going to be on the way, but I gotta get this taken care of.
I've always been tempted, well, not tempted, that's not the right word, but I've always been interested to see if a Devil May Cry game could do extra content by having like, oh, you can, you know, Dante's job, his shop is he goes on demon hunting missions for people. Like if they could add a
That's-
mode where you would do,
You know that, like, if they did that, it would be because they turned the game into an open world.
yeah, I wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
Maybe, well, it wasn't done amazingly, but there was something like that in Astral Chain, the Platinum Games Switch game. Mm-hmm. Though it's most of it you don't get until you beat the game, which is a bit weird. Like that's where a lot of the optional combat encounters are.
What if they made a Devil May Cry that was just a Monster Hunter game? Like, Monster Hunter with good controls, right? It wouldn't be good. I'm just hypothesizing.
Yeah.
What if? Although, speaking of games that are just in the wrong genre, did you hear about Sony canceling 2 more live service game plans?
Yeah.
One of them being made by Bend Studios and one being Bluepoint. And
Yeah.
it's been revealed now that what Bluepoint was working on since that Demon's Souls remake was a God of War live service game.
Yeah. Way to waste the time of a really good studio.
Yeah, but I mean, at least now that they're done with that, they can work on Bloodborne, the live service game. Rolling around at the speed. I'm assuming this is not the way forward, so I'll go this way.
I think it is.
No, this
I
is
think
the way
you can't-
forward.
No, I think you do something later or to open this door. You see it's red there?
Yeah, okay, alright.
Yeah.
So let's move that.
This is stuff I've kind of had to pass because they really do not communicate this well. Because here they don't really have the, like, demonic walls. They do, like, electronic stuff.
They sometimes have demonic walls.
Yeah, but this area in particular tends to not use them. Now, I could be wrong. I think there might be a gold orb in this area, like above those the pipes you came in on.
I don't know how we would get up there offhand.
Yeah, you might have to use the flying
Oh, yeah.
stuff.
Oh, wait, there it is.
Okay, there's that, but I couldn't remember if there was something else up there.
Maybe there's a blue, or maybe there's a secret.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if I have to kill these things or not. Probably not.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
want to
trying
say
to work my way over here.
no. Yay! Like, see, hearing that news as well makes me, because a lot of people go like, "Oh, that's kind of good news because they're not wasting their time on these live services." It's like, well, no, they did.
Yeah,
And
wasted a lot of time on these live services.
It's very likely that the studios are going to be worse for wear because of it. Like having worked on something that long and then it be cancelled probably means that a bunch of people are going to get laid off to, you know, cover costs.
Right. I mean, like Sony told them to do something that's a bad idea. It turned out to be a bad idea, and then Sony's going to be like, "Well, this was your fault, obviously."
Oh yeah, there's weird mines in this area. Also, do you like the level design of this area here?
The spiral.
This goes on for a while.
I feel like I don't have to fight these enemies.
Oh, you definitely don't know.
All right.
It is shocking how many of the encounters in this game are optional.
Dante's just rolling the dice to see if he breaks his neck at any point here.
Truly rolling around at the speed of sound.
We're going in here. We're going back. I want to see what's over here.
I think there might be a blue orb. I think you... Yeah, I think if you fly up here, there's something to get.
Yeah, because I think that's the thing I unlocked, actually, is up here.
Yeah, oh, you know what? I think that green glowing thing is a thing that refills your DT.
It is. That's why I ran on that first. Yeah, this was mandatory, I think.
Oh, no, this is DT upgrade. This is the healing one, I think. So this will
I can heal my enemies. Good.
No, this just makes the healing even more powerful, like brokenly powerful, I think. Oh, oh no, it's the flame one. Okay, it was green in the cutscene, so you can.
So that should be
the healing orb.
Yeah, it makes red come out of my stuff. Is there like any sort of wait? Will I just heal up naturally? So while I ask you this question, is there elemental damage? Is that a consideration?
You know what? If there is, I've never been able to pass it.
You know what?
It's one of those things where there could be, but the enemies have so like you do so much damage to them, and you're usually using the guns anyway. And you only get this element in DT as well. That's the thing.
I think that the electricity is applied to my guns, and the fire is applied to my sword. So it might be you pick an element that for the weapon you want to use.
It might just be that the sword the sword is the only one that gets the element. The guns don't.
I could have sworn that the guns were shooting like lightning stuff, but
oh yeah, but I think like having the flame equipped doesn't change what the guns do.
Also, this is a bad area to have fire equipped. You would think. It's just in case I need to. Yeah, it just says 2-year attack, so...
Yeah, but I want to say it's only the sword, though. I don't think that the projectile attack really changes.
Sure. Again, my question, though, is, like, is there a discernible difference in how enemies react based on...
Yeah, it's one of those things where there might be. It's just I've never been able to tell. Because, you're so rarely using the Devil Trigger to do melee attacks anyway. So, when would you ever see it? Okay, so despite what the camera's doing, you are supposed to cross the... Yeah, there we go. And yeah, there is a doorway down there. I don't remember if that's progress or not.
Let's just go this way. That feels like it's a secret, right? If it was me, that would be a secret.
Yeah, it's worth checking.
Yeah, let's get down there. Deal with this. Okay. Trying to finagle my way over there. And not a secret. Mandatory.
Oh, no. I think this... There we go. Vendetta.
Oh wait, do I have a button to?
Nope.
No. I have a button
so
for
you can
sword.
swap. Yeah, you
I mean
can't.
for guns, rather.
Yeah. Well, there's a very good reason why. Let's check out its unique attacks.
It feels the same. Same.
I believe it. I can't remember. You know, I want to say this is the one that is faster, but does slightly little less damage, or it's got slightly lower range.
Well, I wouldn't want to use that then.
Yep. And I believe you also get a sword that has longer range and it's slightly slower.
I feel like I've already put points in Rebellion, and if the weapons aren't going to be that much different, then why would I?
Okay, this was the demon upgrade power I was thinking of.
How much of this is optional?
I think the flame one is optional. I don't remember about this one.
The heart of a vigorous battle god, offense heart. Oh, that's its own unique slot. So, enhances your attack power. Well, good. Make that even better.
Yeah. So you do get another gem that's where the healing gem goes, but I don't remember when you get that.
All right, so I guess I got to come back here.
Yeah, either that or this was optional.
Well, it wouldn't say this door is sealed tight and like conspicuously look at a unique looking door if I wasn't supposed to come back and get it eventually.
I'm trying to remember if Lucia uses that door.
That's a possibility. Nothing in here.
Oh, this is one of my favorite combat sequences coming up here.
Is it one where I do this?
I'm not going to spoil it. It's just amazing. You should see for yourself. Yes. You just stand there and Dante just pivots on the spot with the handguns.
I'm trying to do
You're making it look too good.
Take that, audience. And that, and that.
It's messed up.
That's him saying it, not
also,
me.
why does Dante even have to use this thing? He doesn't have fall damage. He can fly in demon form. Like, he's doing this just for the fucking shits and giggles.
It's the Akira elevator. I always wanted to ride one of these.
I always think of a Metal Gear Solid when I think of these. Is that the where you get the codec about Naomi from Miller?
Can't jump off yet.
Yeah, well, that's dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, sure, why not? All right.
I mean, that shows how good the offensive heart gem is, because you would blasting through them there. I don't think I've ever noticed that before. Look at that like Doom bust on top of that trunk.
Oh yeah. You need a grotesque on your subway system. There's so many things in these environments that I feel like, oh yeah, I interact with this, and there's nothing that's interactable.
Yeah.
Like there's not even any signs that I've seen.
Yeah, considering those secret rooms were attached to examining random coffins, though, I get it.
But like in other Devil May Cry games, like including the first one, you could walk up to things and Dante would be like, huh, it says this, or this is weird, or...
Yeah, I miss that from games, because nowadays protagonists just talk out loud and constantly remind you that you're not them, and make you feel like you're playing as non-human people who just speak out loud all the time. At least with being in text, you could like pass it as in a monologue. As much as I really liked the 2019. Was it 19 or... God, when did Resident Evil 2
what game?
come out? I guess Resident Evil 2... I'll call it Resident Evil 2 Remake.
Okay.
It's not really a remake to me. That is one of the things I miss, is that like you don't get any of that flavor text in the environment. You just get Leon going, what the? and characters cuss in when they shoot zombies.
Am I supposed to be doing something unique, or is this just a holdout?
No, this is yeah, time. You're technically being transported to the oil field.
That's
It's
kind of
hard to see, but if you look at the arrow, it is moving. Yeah.
I thought that was probably what was happening. I just wanted to make sure.
And as I've mentioned with a lot of the story in this game, why we're going there? Why did we get in this train?
I feel like you could have thrown some more guys at me to kill.
You just did the encounter too quick, I guess. Yeah, I think it is like a set time. I don't think you can speed this section up.
Guess I'm too good at this. There was no difficulty selection, also.
No, you have to unlock them all, yeah.
So I couldn't even go to easy if I wanted to.
Yeah, I don't know if there is an easy order. Well, I think the game is always in easy order, is the thing. Do you know what though? I've never like repeatedly died on normal mode to find out. So maybe you do unlock a.
They said in like the preview stuff that it would have like a dynamic difficulty, right? That was what they implied.
Oh yeah, but at least when I was doing research, it was phrased as a cut feature. So again, maybe it's just something where it's so subtle and the game's so easy anyway that no one's like been able to glean what it does. Anglogan says that this is the train to the demonic Jeff Bezos HQ that is draining the city. Well, it's going to an oil field, which I guess was that.
Or it's going from an oil field.
No, it's a factory to oil field.
Oh, okay. I thought we flew into an oil field.
No, that was this guy.
Oh.
But I don't know. I don't think Dante was privy to that cutscene. Okay, yeah, sure.
Sure.
There. We'll get to that guy later.
I think we have time for one more mission.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is going to be definitely more than a two-parter, I think, because we still have to go through Lucius. Challenger shall rise while the king evades. Still save my points, you think?
Yeah.
Alright. Last time on Devil May Cry 2.
So, like, yeah, if the cutscene had showed that Dante knew that this guy was coming this way, then I would understand. But the helicopter cutscene we watched, it seemed to happen outside of wherever Dante was.
Maybe another time.
I find this guy's design very weird. He feels like a scrapped concept for like a Tekken villain before they came up with Heihachi or Kazuya.
I was gonna say like young Heihachi.
Yeah.
Tekken Tag 2.
Okay. I think this mission might just be this fight.
All right. So is this a strategy?
Well, this is always the strategy.
The problem is I'm gonna want to go in there and I'm gonna want to fight him like it was a Devil May Cry game, and it's gonna be like, oh no, you shouldn't be fighting him like that. All right. I don't think I can dodge that. I think that is...
like I said, the dodge, even you know, like I mentioned that the jump no longer has the same kind of like iframe stuff, but I don't think even the dodge has the same kind of invincibility that say, what's the name of it? Let me see. Gunslinger, sword,
Trickster?
The Trickster dodges have in dashes have in 3.
Although high time is definitely look at the damage I'm doing with high time.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, hit me, sure. Oh, okay. Maybe I should get away from that move? That looks bad. Should be a health here, isn't there? No?
Oh, he's coming. He's coming.
Oh, he stopped.
Oh, never mind. He got a bit nervous at the end there. I mean, I guess it's appropriate you find the flame power up on the level where all the flame demons are, but like at least thematically, but obviously from a design point, that's terrible.
I know there's a health here. There we go.
Yeah.
Olay!
Man, I guess this is before the era where like every
Oh, okay, that has a hitbox.
every game that had this kind of boss where you had to make it run into a wall to weaken it.
Well, fortunately, I don't. It doesn't seem like I have to do that. Although I wonder if that would work.
It was just giving me flashbacks to like every time you fight Rhino in a Spider-Man game. It's like fighting a Bane in Batman Arkham Asylum. He can't even turn around. So I'm just gonna keep attacking. Fuck it.
Like he's trying to pull me in with that move, but are you doing it again?
Like,
It'll work this time.
Games,
I'm even further away.
Yeah, these games have always had like a, you know, I'm not locked in with you. You're locked in with me. But this game has like that energy the most. Even the bosses just feel, yeah. They feel so weak in comparison to anything you can do.
I mean, he picked the worst possible strategy.
Okay. Dante, that guy might not even be defeated.
Maybe you have time for another mission.
Yeah, I was going to say, do this mission next.
Bad style.
I know some people do prefer the, like, when bosses are made a separate mission, so you don't have to worry about, you know, carrying a rank through an entire mission. I'm not sure how I feel.
Anything else here? Is he still here?
Oh, no. No.
I think he might have lived. Alright.
Yeah, he just jumped. He just ran off during the level transition. The factory has started to collapse.
Alert
You're not
heard.
even in the. But you're not in
it?
the factory. You're in the oil refinery.
Warning.
Oh, yeah, I heard that. Oh, I guess we just skipped the train ride.
Maybe I want to have speed just in case. Actually, I might want flight. It probably doesn't matter.
I think flight does help in an early bit, but they give you a lot of time. See, Dante, you can just...
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave. I assume I want to go right. Which is why I'm going left.
Oh yeah, Tiger Career says, I don't play a lot of rank-based games, but I'm in favour of keeping bosses separate from levels in general. More so if you're being raided. I see it a bit. It's just, I think of Devil May Cry 5, where they managed to squeeze like a boss fight into pretty much like every level in that game. And if you split that game up, that meant you would have had like weird pacing where some levels are like, you know, 10-15 minutes long, and then you would just have like a boss encounter separate.
That was the thing I really appreciated about 5 once I recognized that. It's like, oh, every level is like a boss fight.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess you could have picked up that demon gem and the sword at that point. Yeah, go to the left here. Yeah, I can't remember. I feel like the quick way is you can... I don't remember if they open up the doors in the middle. But I think you might be able to fly... Oh, no, maybe they don't.
Yeah, I'm just gonna... This is also a quick way. Okay, they do...
Oh, no, see... Yeah.
They do, but like... Whatever.
I guess that was their whole multiple path idea. Like, that's the best they could do with the time. I was like, oh yeah, you can... It's mostly just, oh yeah, you can use the flying to kind of get through an area quicker in some parts.
Okay, I think I actually do need to use speed now.
Warning.
Oh, well, it'll get us through it faster. Here's the thing, though. They didn't show it very well. You have to hit a bunch of switches in this room to open that door.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Like that one down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't showcase it very well. There's 3 of them.
No,
And yes,
there's these first.
I saw a friend of mine, Joe, PS2 or Die, who's been trying to beat every PlayStation 2 game, and he went through this one recently. And I remember this exact problem he had in this room, was trying to hit these plimps and then being fucked by the auto lock. So yeah, you have to kind of figure out where the enemy is placed and then stand on the opposite side of the... Yeah, and position yourself. It's so awkward.
I think there's like one up here, or is it... where was that last one? Was it
Let me
up
try and
here?
remember. No.
No.
It's in a weird spot. It might be back here somewhere. No. That's the one you already did.
Yeah, let me get back here. Down here.
Yeah, I think it is further back, yeah.
Warning.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is really mean, because the camera's not... It's... You can tell they built this area for you coming through it the first way, and they didn't really make the camera better for going back through it backwards. And heck, people moan about how much you do that in Devil May Cry 4, but I feel like this is way worse, and it's not even... You know, because you're doing as both characters as well.
That seems important. You know what? Just gonna have to... Do you think I have to fight these guys? Or... No? Okay.
Again, you can skip so many encounters in this game.
I only
it's
asked
wild.
because I saw that thing in the center there. I was like, I wonder if that, like, drops or something.
Warning.
What?
Okay. There's a reason that happened. It's just not communicated to you very well.
Yeah, I'm stuck on this wall. What is happening?
There's that fan is sucking you in. Obviously, it doesn't make sense because you were in the corner of the room.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
But
I assume I don't have to
time
interact
these
with
guys
anything. This way now.
this plane is the solution, if I remember right.
No, I figured it's the only thing here.
There we go.
Oh.
Oh, wait, maybe this was optional. Can you press circle on the...
Nope.
Okay, I think there's a door, like, in the back corner.
Okay, well, hey, I got a missile launcher now.
Oh.
No, wait.
Yep, right.
That just happened, okay.
It's coming back to me, yeah.
Is this the weapon that you want me to upgrade?
Okay, so there is one more weapon, which is dual submachine guns.
Okay.
Which is just... They're basically just the pistols, but they, you know, they do lower damage per hit, but... Oh, how the fuck do we get here?
No, oh, yeah, good question.
I'm trying to remember what... I'll look it up for next time.
Sure.
What level the submachine guns are on.
I think that might do it for this evening.
Yeah, that's a pretty good stopping point.
I'm gonna just do a double save just to be safe. Alrighty then. Ooh. And with that, I think I can say... Folks, here we are. And thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, that,
that high-octane action.
Listen, we'll talk about DMC, Devil May Cry, when we get there.
Yeah.
And I've never really called myself like a hater of that game or anything. But man, do I have a better appreciation of DMC Devil May Cry after playing some of this. Yeah, I guess we'll give our full thoughts once we're more complete with it. But
yeah.
What's shocking me is how easy this is.
Yes, it is. Like I said, some people found that first game too difficult, and that first game is very difficult. But they took that comment way much to heart, and some of that it might have just been unintentional. It might just be they set damage numbers wrong and didn't have time to like refine fins and the AI and all that. Like it might be just it's so easy because it's so basically built.
Yeah.
But,
I guess we'll see how this continues next Thursday. And then once we're done with that, we're going to have to get through Lucia's story. But, yeah, thank you all for joining us tonight. If you liked what you saw here, and why wouldn't you, then you can, if you want to financially support us, you can go to our Patreon. You can become a member on YouTube, subscribe on Twitch, or boost the Discord server. Doing any of those will get you access to our Patron Saints channel, where you can help direct this show going forward in terms of like what we play. I'm trying to remember this because Cass is one who usually does this one. If you can't financially support us, that's totally fine. We appreciate you watching, and you can still feel free to join the Discord. Hit him to the link with a link to the Discord, please. Because Discord's open to anyone, and we hang out there very often, streaming stuff, doing stuff, discussing stuff. And if you feel like, you can share this whole thing with a friend. Link them to our Twitch, link them to our YouTube VOD channel. If you have someone who is a fan of the Devil May Cry series and was like, I never tried out 2, and you can be like, well, watch this, so you don't have to. What else we got? I don't know about our future plans in the upcoming days. Thursday is going to be, for sure, continuing Devil May Cry 2. Don't know about this weekend. Cass will be coming in, and it's going to depend on how they're feeling once they're back in hell. Tuesday, we don't have a plan yet, but we always got something. And what else? I feel like there's something I wanted to say. Oh, yeah. This Sunday, I believe we should be recording a new episode of our podcast. That'll be episode 4, I think. So, what's the address for that? Can I remember it? It's podcast. Is it podcast.badgamehalloffame.com? Or is it podcasts, plural? Type them both in and see which one works. That's how we do that. One second. Podcast singular.badgamehalloffame.com for our podcast. It's also on various podcast services like Spotify and the other ones. And I said, we're recording a new episode this Sunday. That should be out middle of next week, I believe. And yeah, I guess we'll start a raid here. Let's see. Who is... Actually, I don't think we're going to do a raid tonight. I think we're just going to call it. I think maybe that's the plan. So, yeah, that'll do it. We'll see you hopefully Saturday. I have been Sharky May Cry.
No, I can't think of one. I've been Johnny Baghead.
There we go.
In.
Anyway, thank you all for watching, and good night, everybody.
See ya.
Goodbye. Here's the button to say goodbye. Goodbye.